So, honourable members, register your presence by going into the in-call message, typing your name, your constituency, and caucus, so that the clerk will take notice of that as you being present at today's sitting. Honourable members, prayers. Almighty God, we humbly beseech thee to look with favour upon this Youth Impact Parliament. Grant that it may perform its high duty as in thy sight. Give divine guidance to the Executive Director of Youth Impact Movement. Endow members of Parliament with discernment and vision, integrity and courage, that through the labours of this Youth Parliament, the interests and wishes of members will be well and truly served, and thy good purposes for the common human life be realized in our midst. O God, grant us a vision of this Youth Parliament, fair as it might be, a fraternity of righteousness, where none shall wrong his neighbour, a fraternity of plenty, where evil and poverty shall be done away with, a fraternity of brotherhood, where all success shall be founded on service and honor shall be given to the deserving, a fraternity of peace, where the Youth Parliament shall rest on the will of its members and allow for the common good. Bless the efforts of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality. Inspire and strengthen our people, and they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming beauty of Youth Impact Parliament, Ghana, and Africa. Amen. Honourable members, I welcome you to the third sitting of the second session of the second Parliament of Youth Impact Parliament of Youth Impact Movement, dubbed the 8th Parliamentary Sitting. We'll proceed to communications. Item 2 on the order paper. Communication from founders. Honourable members, the founder and his 2 co-founders are grateful for the consideration of the resolutions referred to the House at its last sitting for consideration. The decision of the House shall be respected. Any further proposed changes will be communicated to the House. God bless you all. Honourable members, move to item 3 on the order paper. Communication from Speaker. Honourable members, I welcome you to our first online sitting, or first virtual sitting within the second Parliament. This sitting is happening due to the resolution of the House to hold its March sitting virtually as a trial of the success. Hello, I lost network. Yes. Happening due to the resolution of the House to hold its March sitting as a trial of the success of the virtual sitting being agreed upon at the last sitting. The decision to hold or continue holding virtual sittings will be dependent on the success of this incumbent sitting. As it stands now, poor network is a sure obstruction to this sitting. These few days, network failure had become a happening, obstructing activities online. So we hope the service providers will do their best to give us stable connection. Honourable members, this virtual sitting is going to be peculiar to the physical sittings we do hold, since it's going to be more focused on administrative progress of the House than debating. in this sitting, we'll receive more paperwork, which is the vote and proceedings and official report of the last two sittings. We'll also receive reports from all the standing committees of the House, all the 16 committees. I have directed and given different directions to all 16 standing committees of the House through the official line of the House to each committee. We will thoroughly debate each report and adopt them all. The procedure for adopting reports is very simple. Whoever has been designated to present the report will present the report and move the motion for the adoption of the report. Then any other member shall second the report. And upon secondment, the report shall now be for the consideration of the House. And as consideration, members can now debate on it and share their views. At the end of the debate, I will not put the question on the motion. And when the ayes have it, the ayes have it, and the motion will be adopted. I hereby encourage all standing committee chairpersons to be up to task, to be present and present their reports or their representatives as they may so delegate. God bless us as we execute our parliamentary duties and build our capacities in parliamentary business, as that is the reason for our engagement. I thank you. Honourable members, at this point in time, we will have the business committee report. The business committee report will be presented by the majority leader, the person of Honourable Amanor, who is the youth member of parliament for Ningo Prampram constituency. And he will present the report of the business committee. The report of the business committee is to stipulate the business for us to transact today, and also the directive being given to them by the office of the speaker. So I think we'll first have to adopt the business of the day, then we'll take their directions as well, the directives I gave to them, and adopt that one differently, because there are two different things. For each of the committees, I would first read out the directive I give to them before I'll give them the floor. So the committee chairman is now available, and I now want to call on him to present the business committee report for adoption. Honorable.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker and the guest house. I thank everybody, as we've all agreed the other time to hold this particular sitting virtually. Let's please communicate to our members, both majority and minority, because the number here is not encouraging at all. We are not up to, let's say, 15 yet. I'm sure we've surpassed 10 though, but we are not more than 15. So let's please communicate to our colleagues on the page that the meeting has already begun. Okay, so Mr. Speaker, to go to the subject matter and the discussion, the business committee's report. This particular sitting is, how do I put it? It's a trial sitting to test the waters, as in how the virtual sitting will look like if we should adopt the 1 month physical sitting and then the other month virtual sittings. So how successful this particular sitting is will indicate whether or not we'll be adopting virtual sittings as far as our sittings are concerned. This particular sitting, one way or the other, was born out of those who are far away from home that can be making it always to meetings. You can't continue probably to be asking permission one way or the other. It does not amount to it does not amount to, how do I put it? It does not amount to, how do I put it? It does not amount to have the standing orders in the House, as in having a number of sittings, absenting yourself for a number of sittings before you have been referred to the Privileges Committee. So that is why this particular sitting is important. So as the Speaker rightly said, this particular sitting is of more of administrative activities than a debate-wise sitting. So this particular sitting will, one way or the other, have all the reports from the system standing committees of the House, of which Mr. Speaker has communicated through the clerk to all the chairpersons of the various committees to prepare their reports to present it to the House. So as you can see the other paper on the screen of the flyer, prayers and communication that has already been done by Mr. Speaker. Business Commission report is what we currently have. Votes and proceedings will follow after. Then official report, which is the Hamzat. Then the private business. Then we take the standing committee's report. So this will be the order of business for today. So honorable members, the number is still not encouraging. I call on all of us to invite our colleagues to join the sitting. Mr. Speaker, in the absence of any further addition to what I've said, I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Honourable members, the Business Committee report has been presented, which is a report on the business for today. Any comments from members on the business for today's sitting? If there are no comments, therefore, the Business Committee report, as read, is hereby adopted as business to be transacted for today's sitting. Honourable members, I will call on the Business Committee chair again, because I've given a directive to the committee that the committee should look at how we can make standing and select committees active. So therefore, I'm calling on the chairperson to present the report. It's just telling us how we can make the committees of the House active. And in presenting the report, he should move the motion for adoption. Honourable members, before the Business Committee chair takes the floor, we are taking attendance by you indicating your name, constituency, and caucus in the in-call message. If you don't do that, you are not present. Especially if you don't speak on floor, there is no evidence that you are present. So please, indicate clearly your name, your constituency, and caucus in the in-call message for the clerk to take record of your attendance. Majority Leader, please present the committee's report and move the motion for adoption.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, once again for the opportunity. This will not come by a report, but just a briefing to the House as far as the tasks that have been assigned to the Business Committee to see how effective the standing committees and then the select committees can operate. As we all know, the standing committees are committees that operate within the premises of Parliament. Their work is mostly within Parliament, and then the select committees' works are mostly outside the jurisdiction of Parliament. I've been of the advocate that if it were left to me alone, we will limit the number of standing committees, the select committees that we have in Parliament currently, so that our attention most often will be on the standing orders. Why do I say it so? I realize that when we have our sittings, which is the normal physical sittings, because of the debate because of the debate that we have ahead of time, ahead of the sitting, we normally rush the committee's report and one with the other. Why is my English not coming today like that? Because of the sitting that we have on the other paper, which we want to have adequate time for it, we normally rush the committee's report, which doesn't really make the committee's work look a little bit, how do I put it, important. So that was why, among other things, I was of the view that if it is possible, then we should hold virtual sittings such that all committee's reports will be held at the virtual sitting. Then when we go for our main sitting, we do a little bit of private business and then zoom straight to the the debate. If what is happening here today happens and then it is done properly, then I think the committee's work will be very, very effective, because all the 16 committee chairpersons will be presenting the report. So my committee the committee that I'm the ranking member to, which is the the Research and Intelligence Committee, one way or the other had met. The acting chairperson has taken input from people, one way or the other, to write the report in regards to the assignment that Mr. Speaker has assigned to the committee. And I'm sure the Education Committee and all the other standing committees equally have been tasked by Mr. Speaker to present a particular report on a particular subject matter. So with that, if this virtual sitting is very successful today, then I'm sure the committee's work will be also vibrant as time goes on. Because at a normal sitting, we are fighting between the space of 3 hours to take committee's reports, to take debates, to do private business, to do public business, and all those stuff combined together in the space of 3 hours. So in that situation, you realize that it is only when a particular issue happens before the committees make a statement or give a report. So for example, with the recent military brutality that happened in Ashaman, though the MP for Ashaman was asked, I'm sure they'll be presenting a report of such on that particular subject matter. But what the name will be, how do I put it? What am I even saying today? Well, sorry, honorable members. Though I'm sure the MP for Ashaman will be presenting a report on that particular issue or a statement on that particular issue, here he or she is going to have the ample time to present whatever detailed report he or she has. But if it's supposed to be the physical sittings, me for example like this, I'll be of the argument that the statements and the reports should be shortened. So Mr. Speaker, for the committees to be able to work effectively, I think the virtual sitting is surely the way to go, whereby all committees will be given the adequate time to present their report. So Mr. Speaker, this is how far we've come with this particular subject matter that you've tasked the committee to look into. So in the absence of any further deliberation, I, the majority leader, Amanor, Narh, move for the acceptance of this particular statement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the majority leader. Seconder to the motion. If you want to make a submission, you just raise your hand. Then I know you want to make a submission. Seconder to the motion to adopt the report of the Business Committee. Honorable Amegashie-Viglo. Yes, Honorable Amegashie-Viglo, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker of the House. I second the motion and I call for this House to move to adopt the motion.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, motion moved and seconded is now for the consideration of the House. Honorable members, any comment on the Business Committee's report? If I may share, I agree that administrative works which will make the committees more relevant should be done for the virtual sittings. Left to me alone, if it be possible, we could even be holding the two. At where we have more committee works, then we hold it virtual to receive. And if that month we have a debate to do, we'll meet physical. So that is my commentary on a report that at where we have more committee work, maybe it could just be one committee work, and we could just integrate it in the physical. But where there are more, then we hold a virtual sitting that month to receive it, and we can equally meet physical for debate purposes. I want the House to consider that. Honourable members, the floor is open for contributions to the report. Yes, Honourable Ernest.
Mr. Speaker, I also move to support the motion and the business statement. I would like to add that I think we can use a mixed system. I agree with you more if you say that we can have virtual sittings where we do virtually administrative work and a blend of the debates. This is because most of us would reckon the fact that Sundays, especially after church service, it's very hard for people to come for meetings as such, considering even the time. People would want to rest a little bit before then they doze off. It's also very important to also know that transportation for some people is quite a challenge, and so if we could adopt more of these virtual meetings and advertise it properly, it will be the way forward. I humbly submit to the Speaker.
Well noted. Any other contribution? Honourable member, I'll take it that the House is virtually vouching for the virtual sittings for administrative and then the physical for debate. And from the views being shared, the virtual will aid with MPs who cannot come. So at the end, they can still register their attendance, and the ones who can come for physical will still come. So I take it that we are in agreement and on the same page that the physical for debate and virtual for administrative. And where the need arises for virtual, where there is more administrative, we hold virtual, and we still meet for our debates. I believe we are all on the same page. Okay. Any other contributions? In the absence of any other contribution on the business committee report, I now put the question to the House. All honourable members in favor of the business committee report, say aye.
Aye.
Not in favor, say nay.
No.
Honourable members, I think the ayes have it. The motion carries. Therefore,
How
the
can the
business
eyes have
committee
it?
report. Therefore, the business committee report is accordingly adopted, and therefore we will be doing a hybrid system for the demands of the business of the House. Honourable members, we proceed to take the votes and proceedings of the 6th sitting and the 7th sitting. So it will be displayed on the screen. It was shared this morning on our parliamentary pages. I don't know whether members saw it, but it was actually shared. So we'll display it on the screen and we'll consider it page by page. Vote and proceedings, 6th parliamentary sitting. So it's on your screen. And also, I think the business committee forgot to add the fact that administrative jobs on the internet or virtual will save us printing costs. Yes. So votes and proceedings of the 6th parliamentary sitting. Oh, it should have been first sitting of the second session. So table office, note that correction. It should be first sitting of the second session, not 6th sitting. Page 1. Page 2. Please, votes and proceedings mostly contains the attendance and major decisions taken. So the attendance is the key focus. If you are present and your name is not among the people present, you let us know if in case it's not being captured. Page 3. Yes, Honorable Adam Osman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, please, my name is spelled correctly, but my constituency is wrong. My constituency should be Ashaiman instead of Ekopo.
All noted. Table office, take note and effect the correction. Page 4. Please remember to register yourself as present by writing your name, constituency, and caucus in the in-call message for the clerk to take the attendance. Page 5. Honourable members, votes and proceedings of the first sitting of the second session of the second parliament dated 29th January 2022-23 is hereby adopted as corrected by honourable members. Honourable members will now consider the votes and proceedings of the second sitting of the second session, dubbed the 7th parliamentary sitting. So, just as here, table office, it should be second sitting of second session, not 7th. So table office notes that. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Honourable members, the votes and proceedings of the second sitting of the second session of the second parliament of Youth Impact Parliament, dubbed the 7th parliamentary sitting, is hereby adopted as corrected. Honourable members, the next item on the other paper. Item 7 and 8. Official report of the 6th and 7th parliamentary sittings. They are being displayed on your screen. So we'll be considering the official report of the 6th parliamentary sitting. As you can see on your screen. Official report of the 6th parliamentary sitting. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 3. Hello. I hope we are not scrolling too fast. Page 5. Now, members, the official report of the first sitting of the second session of the second Parliament of Youth Impact Parliament, dubbed the sixth parliamentary sitting, is hereby adopted as true proceedings of that sitting. Honourable members, consideration of the official report for the second sitting of the second session, dubbed the seventh parliamentary sitting. So obviously the second was not spelled well. Should be SECON. Second, not second. So table of office, take note. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Nothing to show. Yes, Honorable Dana Mateko. Yes, Honorable Dana, you can speak. Okay, I think it's a mistake. Honorable members, honorable members, Honourable members. Honourable members. Honourable members. Votes. Okay. Honourable members. Official report for the second sitting of the second session of the second parliament of YIP, dubbed the seventh parliamentary sitting, is hereby adopted as corrected, yes, as through proceedings of that sitting. Honourable members, we will now move to the commencement of private business. Please do remember to register your attendance by writing your name, constituency, and caucus in the info message so that the clerk can take attendance and record you as being present. Okay. So we now go to commencement of private business. Questions. Honourable members, any question to the House? You have an inquiry to make. Questions. You can raise your hand and ask your question. Honourable members, questions. If you have questions, you can ask to anyone you want to inquire about something about the House, whatever you want to inquire, you can ask. Okay. In the absence of any questions, we move to statements. Honourable members, any statement? I think Shama UFMP. Something happened in your constituency. I think you can just give us a 30-second briefing on it as a statement so that we can recognize what happened in your constituency. I think I'm aware our Shaman MP is the minority leader for HTU SRC Parliament, and they are also holding a sitting physically. So he alone is attending 2 sittings concurrently. So on that note, for the fact that he's the chair of the sports committee, I would allow him to rather come in on the sports committee. So, Honorable Ashama MP, I'll let someone present that statement on your behalf for what happened in your
Thank you very much.
Yes. So, any other honorable member who wants to?
Mr. Speaker, we're all in this country where
any other member who wants to speak on what occurred in the Shaman constituency. You can unmute yourself and briefly take us through what happened there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I want to make a brief statement on the happening in the Shaman since last 2-3 weeks. Yeah. The incident that happened in the Shaman is an unfortunate one, both the killing of the young soldier as well as the brutalization of the citizens of the Taifa suburb in the Shaman. Both ought to be condemned, and I condemn both. But it is also very interesting to note that the mob justice that we have adopted for ourselves in some part of Ghana ought to be looked at once again. Because though we are in the 21st century in 2023, it is looking like that will not stop anytime soon. Major Adams Mahama was killed in Dentro Boase, now New Boase, and though the soldiers invaded the town like that and did what they did in the Shaman, but because that one had been, it has been 5 years now, it looks like we have forgotten what had happened. What happened in the Shaman, the mob justice, that is the killing of the soldier, the young soldier, happens in most parts in Ghana. Recently, there was one incident that happened in Kumasi. There was one guy who stole something and then he was killed instantly when the people attacked him. One thing I want us to understand is that once someone goes against the law, it is your duty to hand over the person to the appropriate authorities so that the person will be dealt with. But the appropriate authorities who are to deal with the person, sometimes you see that you arrest the person and send them to the police station, and then you see the person walking by once again. With the situation of Major Adams Mahama, 5 years down the line, all those who have one way or the other been arrested in line with the killing of Adams Mahama are having good lawyers who goes to court every now and then, and they have not yet been prosecuted. So the delay in justice, one way or the other, also incite people to how do I put it, to undertake the mob justice when the need be, because they feel the judicial system and then our justice system is failing. So we have to look at this particular issue holistically, so that we can be able to put this to an end. Probably when someone comes to steal my item, I take the person through the necessary steps, send the person to the police station, the person will be billed, and then you see the person walk, instead of the person to be, what's the name, accord the right punishment that he or she deserves. Because of the corrupt nature of our system, you see the person moving, so that ought to be looked at. The citizens who, one way or the other, are well-to-do as far as knowledge is concerned, should equally take it upon ourselves to educate the communities in which we come from, that mob justice is not the way to go in the 21st century as far as 2023 is concerned. A Shaman that happened. We don't know where next, because day in and day out, issues happen. We condemn them. We don't look for a lasting solution so that that particular thing will not reoccur. It happened to Major Mahama in 2017, May. 5 years down the line, it happened to another soldier. It seems 3 years ago, an MTTD officer was killed in Kaswa. So it looked like our security officers who are to protect us, the civilians are rather the ones killing those who are to protect them. And if it happens that way, with the military whose training one way or the other was not born out of human rights or whatsoever, when it happens like that, though they are not above the law, they take the law into their own hands. And then after that happened right now, I learned the Shaman MP had filed, what's the name? question to the Minister of Defense and the Chief of Defense Staff in Parliament. But will we be able to get the response that we need as far as the brutalization of those innocent people is concerned? I just learned 3 days ago, 4 days ago, one of the people that suffered the beatings died recently, since 3 days ago. I'm sure Ashaman MP can be able to confirm that for us when he takes his turn. So it is very important that we look at the issue holistically so that we can be able to solve this issue once and for all. Now, this again comes to those of us who, one way or the other, calls for military rule in every instance of probably bad governance or probably a mistake that has been committed by government one way or the other. Me, though I have not lived during the military rule before, but my parents lived during the military rule. So one way or the other, they've told me what had happened during the military rule. What happened in a Sherman by the soldiers brutalizing the innocent citizens is just a tip of the iceberg as far as what military rule is. So once again, I also advise us all to be very careful on what we wish for as citizens. The only thing I can say is that we should continue to learn. Though the future, the current situations we have in the country are not looking too bright. But how then do we want to change the scenario such that when incidents happen, our next resort will not be calling for military rule? So, Mr. Speaker, what happened in Ashaman had to be condemned. The killing had to be condemned. The brutalization had to be condemned. Though people have the argument that what the military did in Ashaman is very good. Yes, I agree with them in a way, because Ashaman is a very stubborn town that needs discipline sometimes. But this way of discipline, one way or the other, may even worsen the situation in the future. Though it has sent a signal down to the people in Ashaman and other parts of Ghana that when you kill a security officer, what happens to the ordinary citizen when an ordinary citizen is being killed by virtue of him or she stealing or probably being attacked? What happens to the ordinary citizen? Would the ordinary citizen get the same justice that probably the young soldier has gotten? If yes, then I think it is all of us our responsibility now to take it upon ourselves and educate the people where we come from that mob justice is not the way forward, as well as to call on our leaders to make our justice delivery system such that people who, one way or the other, flout the law will be punished according to what they have done, so that we will not be having this in the future, because majority of people no more believe in the justice system that we have, so they tend to take the laws into their own hands. So, Mr. Speaker, the Ashaman incidents ought to be condemned. No matter what the situation, what the military did in Ashaman is not the way forward. As well as the police also ought to be commended for their swift response in arresting the suspects linked to this particular situation. Again, my question is, if it is an ordinary citizen like myself and you on this particular this particular meeting this afternoon, will we get the third attention from the police? So once again, I'm calling on everybody. It is going to be all of us our responsibility, one way or the other, to put an end to what had happened in Ashaman. The police should be swift in bringing out, investigating and bringing out the suspects who, one way or the other, will be sent to court for prosecution. It should be swift for everybody, whether a layman, me, myself, or an MP, a military man, a policeman, a fire officer. Everybody is equal, because that is why they are being paid. A particular group of people shouldn't be given the attention more than the others. So, Mr. Speaker, without adding more, I thank you very, very much for this opportunity to speak on the issue that happened at the Sherman. Let's look at the issue holistically without taking sides, because once we take sides, we will not be able to resolve the issue fully, because you take side, you have an entrenched position on the other side. Mr. Speaker, I thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, the Majority Leader. Honourable members, the floor is now open for comments on the statement. If you want to speak, raise your hand and I'll call you. Honourable members, any other contribution on the statement? In the absence of any further contribution, we wish the victims well in their recovery. All who have died from this, may they rest in peace. And we hope our justice system will recover so that the mob justice would end. Thank you very much. Honourable members, petitions. Are there any petitions? Petitions are more like parliamentary prayers. In the absence of any petition, we now move to item 12 on the order paper. Commencement of public business. Standing committee reports to plenary. We'll take the first report from the appointments committee. The appointment committee is chaired by Honorable Felix Adichie, Youth MP for Afajato South constituency, and first Deputy Speaker. I tasked the appointment committee to actually relook at the qualities and expectations of parliamentary leaders prior to appointment. The ranking member to the committee is Honorable Gilbert Agbeli. I can see the chairman is not around. Ranking member, can you give us what you have looked at with respect to qualities and expectations of parliamentary leaders prior to the appointment? Can you share something with us with respect to that? Honourable members, remember to register your presence by stating your name, constituency, and caucus in the in conversation. Is Honourable Gilbert not online? Not online. Is there Honorable Francis Kodzi? You are a member of the appointments committee. Please, what has your committee discussed with respect to the directive I gave? Even if they have not discussed, share something with us and move the motion.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my point of view regarding to the job given to the committee, I think it's a serious work that we have to do as a committee. Number one, for us to be able to look at the qualities that we are going to have in terms of the parliamentary leadership, so that we will not just be giving anybody the opportunity to be a leader, but also there should be a way we put things together, and there should be a way, a proper and a strict vetting for that matter for anybody that will be given such leadership positions henceforth. So the committee is working towards all that, and I believe when the chairman comes, all that we discuss will be brought to the notice of the Parliament. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. If the committee has not discussed anything at all, your committee will be working again when we open nominations.
No,
So we need to have the discussion as soon as possible. Yeah, so
yes, they are
please
doing
relook at it.
but like I said, the chairman would brief the House, I believe, in our next meeting.
Okay. So the appointment committee report is hereby deferred to subsequent sittings. Honourable members, we move to the next committee. And the next committee is the Education Committee. The Education Committee being chaired by Honourable Vixen Brighton, Youth MP for Hopewell constituency, and First Deputy Minority Whip. Ranking member being Honourable Charlotte Ohini MFA. The Education Committee was tasked to suggest topics worth looking at for the virtual leadership seminars and the youth impact movement and other related matters. Education Committee, what do you have for us? Is there not any member of the committee present? Education Committee. Is there not any member present? We have to go over the membership so that we identify them. Education Committee. Education Committee. Let's check the membership before we move to the next one. Education Committee. So we have Honorable Eric Asante, Honorable Reverend Stanley Adio, Honorable Emmanuel Kise, Honorable George Semabia, Miss Onise Adams, Honorable Owen Befwadi, and Honorable Paramount Nelson. So not even one is online. Okay. So the Education Committee report is deferred until the availability of members. Honourable members. Honourable members, we'll move to the next committee. Finance Committee. The Finance Committee is chaired by Honourable Charles Kwame Mako. Ranking member is Honorable Samson Fianco. And the committee was tasked let me read what I gave to the committee. Finance committee was tasked to suggest ways the House and the movement can seek for external funding to improve the financial basis of the House, the foundation, the movement, and other related matters. Chairman, is the chairman not present? Yes, Honorable Merititiga, the floor is yours. Honorable Mary, I thought you wanted to speak. The Finance Committee is composed of, in addition to the chair and ranking, Honorable Roger Ayaove, Honorable Christian Donko, Honorable Samuel Abiu, Honorable Ernest Kluche, Miss Allnice Adams, Honorable Peter Sipa, and Honorable Samuel Nude. Is there not in the committee? Yes. Honorable Samuel, let's hear from you.
Okay. Thank you very much, the Right Honorable Speaker and the August House. I am in the person of Honorable Charles Kwame Mapok. I serve the good people of Afron South and the chairperson of the Finance Committee. With regards to the directives from the Speaker to the committee as to the committee suggesting the appropriate ways the House or the foundation and movement together to consider in breaching the gap by getting external source to make sure the activities of the House or the committee gets to the point we all want. The committee sat and considered a number of them, and I am here just to present that to the House. Mr. Speaker, the first point the House is to look at or consider is to get grants to work with. And in doing that, the committee is suggesting, if possible, the House or the movement could explore some possible grant schemes by applying to them, if being governmental agencies or private foundations that are mostly into youth advocacy issues and would want to engage us and see us go through. The second point, Mr. Speaker, is if possible, the House or the foundation should get in touch by getting some corporate sponsorship. Here, the committee seeks to suggest, if possible, which the House should get in touch with corporate institutions as early as possible by, let's say, the end of years. So when they are putting up their corporate responsibility budget, we could get a portion in that. However, most of these institutions would want to give you something, mostly when they have to benefit something from you as well. So the House will have to look at what we have to offer these corporate institutions when we get to them for they to spend their corporate funds on us. We could also look at avenues, Mr. Speaker, like fundraising events where we could actually bring together people who are interested in the field to see how best they could help sell their advocacy out there. Donation was also one of the approach, whether internal or external. It could be right if someone should say we have even members among us who could support us. However, I think to an extent we didn't open that door. So we want to see if possible. Let's see if there is any voluntary contribution being in or outside and see how best we could take that up. We could also run partnerships with other agencies or organizations that are like-minded, and throughout there we sell our products and see how best we could raise funds to help the group, the house, and the movement. Mr. Speaker, I so present the brief from the Finance Committee, and with that, I move that the report from the Finance Committee should be accepted as a working document in the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, a seconder to the motion for adoption. Please raise your hand if you want to second the motion. Honourable Roger Zonvier, kindly second the motion, since you are a member of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, please, I just joined, so I actually don't know what is going on.
You are seconding the Finance Committee's motion to adopt their report.
Oh, okay. Mr. Speaker in the House, I kindly second the motion brought up by the Finance Committee to be adopted by the House. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, motion moved and seconded is now for the consideration of the House. Anyone wishing to contribute can now contribute. Mr. Chair, some of these things we don't know, so you have to champion the effect for us. If it is that we'll get you the letter, get it for you, and then you help us seek for these funds. You are an expert in that field, and we are not. So left to me alone, all we have to do from our side, guide us, we'll do it, and then how we'll get to the people, guide us, and then we do it. And you lead the delegation for us to do so. And then with respect to the donations, yes, apart from the dues, anyone wishing to pay more could do so. But if they want us to make it official donation, Youth Impact Foundation is working on a poster for that, and whatever goes to the foundation is shared with the movement and then the parliament, especially if what they are sorting the money for has been achieved. The surplus is being shared to manage their affairs. So if it is that they are waiting for official donations, then the executive committee of the foundation should be tasked to release that poster. Honorable Roger Zonvier is the financial officer of the movement, so I think he'll take that up for the poster to be released so that members can officially donate. For the grants and orders, Mr. Chairman and your committee, lead us to get all those. That's my contribution. Honourable members, any other contribution to the motion? You raise your hand and I'll call you. Just like this. In the absence of any further contribution to the motion, I now put the question to the House. All members in favour of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Not in favour of the motion say nay. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The report of the Finance Committee is hereby adopted. Honourable members, we move to the next committee. The next committee is the Entertainment Committee. The Entertainment Committee is chaired by Honourable Bruce Julian Dagojo, Youth MP of Fantiwa East. And I think ranking member is Honourable Dorcas Amphobia Kwache, Youth MP for Krachi Unchimuru. I task the committee to suggest some entertainment activities the House can organize for its members. Physical or virtual activities may be considered. Entertainment Committee, can we hear from you? Is there not any member of the committee present? The Entertainment Committee is made up of in addition to the chair and the ranking, Honourable Gidi Evans, Honourable Wisdom Mensah, Honourable Mark Domevenu, Honourable Emmanuel Apia, Honourable Prosper Boateng, Honourable Mary Tetega, and Honourable Cyril Amevo, Mr. Cyril Amevo, who is the secretary to the committee. Honourable Mary Tetega, anything for us from the committee? Honourable Mary, can I hear from you? If she's not active, hello. If she's not active, we defer the report to at a time they are ready to present their report. Therefore, the Entertainment Committee report is accordingly deferred to when possible the report can be presented. Honourable members, moving to the next report, that's the Health and Safety report, Health and Safety Committee. The Health and Safety Committee is chaired by Honourable Silas Daiti Tete, Youth MP for Ada, and the ranking member is Honorable, what's his name? Health and Safety, Wanda Afiti, as ranking member to the committee. Other members are Honorable Daniel Amfokwa, Honorable Dr. Priscilla Adai, Honorable Abbas Idris, Honorable Joseph Ajako Nyame, Honorable Peggy Tadogbefu, Honorable Augusta Gape, and Ms. Adams Honors. Is there not any member of the committee here? Since the members are not here, Honorable Priscilla Adai, you are a member of the committee. The committee was tasked to suggest some topics and resource persons to teach the movement, which is the virtual leadership seminars, on matters relating to increasing awareness to health issues. And if possible, the resource persons can be our own MPs. Honorable Priscilla Adai, anything for us?
And the Speaker of the House, good afternoon, everyone. So, with regards to the health committee, we are yet to finalize issues. So, I'm sure when the chairperson comes around, he will be best to give more info on the matter at hand. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, your report will be deferred to the subsequent sittings. So, honorable members, the report of the Health and Safety Committee is ever deferred to subsequent sittings. Honorable Dorcas Amphobia Kwache is here, ranking member to Entertainment Committee. Honorable Dorcas, anything for us from your committee? Of the Entertainment Committee. Can we hear from you?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker in the House. My committee members and I had an online meeting, and then we discussed some activities that the House can embark on. But the unfortunate thing is, looking at all the games we brought out, we realized none of the games can be done virtually. So that is the challenge we are having now. But nonetheless, the ones we have, I think I will put them before the House.
The chairperson equally joined you.
Pardon?
The chairperson just joined.
Okay.
So if it's not ready to speak, you can proceed.
Okay. So one of the activities is organizing a debate for the House. That is debate between minority caucus and then majority caucus. Another one is to organize games between our house and then the HTU SRC Parliament House. Another one is about how well do you know YIP, which would be in the form of a quiz competition in the House. As to how it will be done, we will let the House know about it. And also to organize games among ourselves. So that is what we have for now. Thank you.
I kindly move the motion for the adoption of the committee's report.
Sorry?
Kindly move the motion for the adoption of the committee's report.
Oh, okay. In view of any other arguments, I move a motion for the adoption of the committee's report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The chairperson, Honorable Julian Dagojo, Kindly second the motion and add your voice to the motion. Honorable Julian, if you're active, unmute yourself, add your voice and second the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to move to second the motion moved by my honorable member. Thank you.
Won't you add anything to what your ranking member said?
Yes, please.
So you can speak.
So as she has said, we are still trying to put things together to make it more workable. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, motion moved and seconded is now for the consideration of the House. In adding my voice to it, I think the debate and what you know about YIP can be done virtually. It can also be done physically through a pre-recorded session. Yes. And actually, I don't think our entertainment activities can be integrated to our sitting, but we can hold them before the sitting. Maybe when we have a physical sitting, we can either hold it before or after, or the pre-recorded can be done on a different day. But the debate and how do you know about YIP can equally be done virtual. The joint debate sitting between HTU SRC Parliament and UHAS, I don't know whether it's a debate sitting or it's just a debate program. Which of them is it? Is it a sitting or is it just a debate program between the SRC Parliament? The chair or ranking member, kindly answer the question. Yeah.
Well, we didn't really talk about that. So, okay, now that you have brought it up, I think we would discuss and then know whether it should be as a sitting or a program on its own.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, the ideas are brilliant ideas, but I think it's still at the sketchy stage. So I think just refine the ideas for us, for the ones we can implement till August, so that at least we can do one before June comes. Yeah, so we are in March, April, May, June. So just look at them and then let's look at the one we can do before June. At least let's try and do one before June. So your committee should look at it and then give us a feedback on that.
Well noted, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Honourable members, any contribution to the motion? Any contribution to the motion?
Right, Honorable. We're also looking at an discussion which could hold before the end of the session.
Okay. An excursion to where though?
It will still be within voter anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yes, please.
That one, it depends on the organization. If we can organize it, yeah, sure.
Okay, sir.
Sure. So it's all about let's come in with a clear plans and then how we'll do it. So yes,
Okay,
Honorable Francis Kodzi.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, regarding to the session, I think we should also be looking at Parliament House. That would be
Okay.
the places we can also go.
Okay. That's a brilliant idea. I think we can equally look at that as an excursion, which is along our aim. The majority leader was suggesting that when our patron comes, it is Honorable Kofi Ato, we have a conversation on him on how he can aid us do that. Yeah, so we'll see how we can further that discussion with him. He'll be coming for our next sitting, and then we'll have that discussion with him so that, if possible, by May or June, we can pay a visit to Parliament and the leadership of Parliament and introduce ourselves to them. So that is equally on the table. Any other contribution? In the absence of any other contributions, I now put the question to the House. All other members in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Not in favor say nay.
No.
The ayes have it. The motion carries. Therefore, the report of the Entertainment Committee is hereby adopted, and we are expecting feedback on the refined plans for us. Honourable members, the Education Committee Chairman is in our midst, and I'd like us to hear from him. She present their report and move the motion for adoption. Honourable Vixen Bright.
Speaker, all right. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, the Education Committee met some 3 days ago about the online section. We decided to present some topics that will improve upon the knowledge of the MPs in the House. So first of all, the first one was that the entrepreneurial drive. Yes, what we came to the conclusion was that in as much as you are youth MPs, we should also do something outside the box. At the end of the day, since you are not going to be in parliament all the time, you should get something doing as well. So to be a multitasking person, you are a parliamentarian and you are an entrepreneur again. So we thought about it that we should bring this in on board. Not only will it give the MPs skills, but it will serve as an additional means for them to get to maybe let's say the monetary aspect. For instance, if we should bring them on board, we should bring the entrepreneurship, those who are involved into this entrepreneurship kind of thing, we bring them on board. We come and teach them, especially with the ladies. Some of these part issue, they can do it, they can learn it, and if not for their sake, they can redo it and sell. Probably if they don't want to use it, they can do it and sell it for others so that they can get that money and so then buy their part as well. Because we look at the economic issue right now. A part costs 20 Ghana cedis, and I believe most of the ladies are not working. So when you teach them how to do some of these things, they can do it by themselves, sell it, and use that proceed to buy the part that they wish to buy to work. So that's one aspect as well. Now, the second aspect is the makeups. Yes, we are in a global, let me be a bit gender bias over here. You know, we could realize that these are the things that is bringing money to the society, especially with the females. If they have been taught how to do makeup and they do it and they know it perfectly, probably among themselves, their colleagues, they can still do it for them and take money from them. At the end of the day, you are gaining profit. So we are doing something that at the end of the day will not only impact but bring profit to them as well. So that's for the entrepreneurship drive aspect. Now the other one is know yourself as a person. We realize that most of us, we have abilities, things that we could do exceptionally, but with some kind of fears in you cannot do it. So we want you to discover, or we help you discover your talent as well, because we really want that talent to be in you to die. So these are some of the things that we want to bring on board. So these are the two things that we deliberate upon But the other rounds, I will table it for the table office to take the record of it down for us. So these are something that we are trying hard to bring on to, so that at the end of the day, everybody will know his or her place. That is where I can fix him properly. This way, if I fix him, it will help the association. This way, if I play my role very well, it will help all of us. So these are the things that we ought to bring on board to propel oneself and the movement as well. So, Mr. Speaker, these are the few things that I would say my committee and I did, and we are presenting it to the House for acceptance.
I kindly move the motion for adoption. Honorable Vixen, kindly move the motion for the adoption of your report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move for the adoption of the report.
Thank you. A seconder to the motion. Can any member second the motion for us? Honorable Priscilla Dai, please second the motion for us.
I rise to second the motion moved by Honorable Member. Thank you.
Honorable members, motion moved and seconded is now for the consideration of the House. Honorable Vixen, with respect to your suggestions, I think it's all about getting the resource persons, and then we appoint a time, we design poster, and then they'll come. The
Yes, Speaker.
entrepreneurship drive,
Yeah.
couldn't we just integrate it in the virtual leadership seminars, or they have to be physical meetings?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I was thinking that we should move away from only the rhetorics or the talking alone, so that we could deal with the real thing. At the end of the day, you can talk, but you don't have a technical know-how to execute whatever that it is. So if you should tell them, because this is a novelty, like the reasonable part issue I'm talking about, it's a novelty. If they are being taught, yeah, they know it by themselves, they can do it and sell, and then proceed from that. Or they can sometimes sew it and wear it by themselves. So that's what I want us to do, so that we will not only be talking and plenty talk does not fill basket. So we are moving away from the talking aspect and deal with the real issue. So that's
So
what
it means
that one.
So
that
it
one,
means
it
we
has to
have
be a
to
physical
meet.
meeting.
It has
Yeah,
to be a
physical meeting
physical
as well.
meeting,
Yes,
a
Mr. Speaker.
seminar,
Yes.
of which they will come and demonstrate how to do these things.
Exactly, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so do you have the resource persons already?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
So it's all about appointing a date, time, and getting a venue and doing the poster.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
For now, I think let's do one. Let's see if we can do one from now to June or August. it has to be before August because this house will be dissolved in August and a new house will be formed in August. So let's look at an appropriate date, the venue that we can get, and then we'll work on the post and then order. So let's keep on communicating.
Okay, Mr. Speaker.
So entertainment committee is going to get us one activity, education committee as well, one activity within the session. Any other contribution?
So, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, I'm listening.
So what I have to say is, yes, all of us have espoused whatever that we want to do in the various committees. It will behold on us, the members, to attend, because looking at the numbers right now, we are trying to pilot, but looking at the number, we are only 10 online. So I would suggest that those who are online right now should propagate the issue, tell people that they should come in, so that at the end of the day, a guest will not come and come only meet 2, 3. It's not fair. So our entreat members that yes, we should work hard in the midst of everything. Yes, there will be some turbulence time, but we should work hard so that at the end of the day, if we should come in our numbers and the police suspension should come, and next time when we call him or her, they will attend upon us. So that's what I have to say. So let's try hard and do our bit very well. So at the end of the day, we come to agreeable conclusion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, as you know, our members don't do well with attendance. So if anything, maybe we should do it at a place open to other people of the community so that the attendance would improve. Only if the resource person will not be charging per participants, I think we can invite other people who are not really MPs to also benefit.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, I want to also suggest that yes, we can move away from the student domain to maybe can find a community of a youth impact parliament is coming to do this thing. So this is what we want to do. I think with that one will give us a bigger platform for members to attend. So to hold on us to do this advert outside parliament. It's not for only students. So I think with time we will sit down and plan all these things, see how best we can come out of it.
But for your information, Youth Impact Parliament is not a student parliament. So getting students is already outside the bracket.
Okay.
It's already outside the bracket. It's not a student parliament.
Okay. Okay. So we will still delve into more and see how best we can organize this very well, so that at the end of the day, in the community that will reach out to us. Okay, this is what we are doing, and small we are how let me say, we are expanding the what's the name?
Horizon.
So the word is not coming. Yes, we are expanding. Pardon?
The horizon.
Exactly. So that's what I'm thinking right now. Since the student attendance is not helping the most, let's try the other side and see.
Okay.
Who knows?
Okay. Honourable members, the floor is open. Welcome. Honourable members, the floor is open. In the absence of any further submission, I now put the question to the House on the motion. Did someone second the motion? I'm not sure the motion was seconded. Honorable Francis Kodzi, kindly second the motion for us.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, thank you. I hereby second the motion to be adopted by the House.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, motion moved and seconded. I now put the question to the House. All now members in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Other
Aye.
members, I'll have to withdraw the question because Honorable Charles Motto has a submission on this. So let's hear from Honorable Charles before I put the question again.
All right. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to find out, if possible, from the presenter, if we could have the facilitators that will help us, looking at our position financially, people that could help without taxing us that much. And if from their consideration, they've been able to come by any means that we could use to at least get a little fund to support the program. Because what he's suggesting, for me alone, is one beautiful thing we can do. So if we can get a facilitator that could go with us freely, and secondly, getting means of getting any fund to help us, if there is any suggestion from their end, that way. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Honorable Vixen. Honorable Vixen, can you answer the question? I think he went offline. Okay. So when he comes at any point in time, he would answer the question. So, honorable members, I put the question again on the motion. All honorable members in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Not in favor, say nay. Honorable members, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Therefore, the report of the Education Committee is hereby adopted and for subsequent feedbacks and execution. Honorable members, the next committee is the Organizing Committee. The Organizing Committee is chaired by Honorable Faith Majo, who is the chairperson, Youth MP for Ablekuma Central. Ranking member is Honorable Amanor Ofe Oben, Youth MP for Lejokuko constituency. And I think the other members are Honorable Sheriff Nadozi, Honorable Joshua Kago, Honorable Enoch Ado, Honorable Robert Fiawon, Honorable Raymond Atachi, Honorable Oliver Mensah, and Miss Grace Fafali. The committee was tasked. Okay. The committee was tasked to Organizing Committee. The committee was tasked to suggest ways members of that committee and MPs can assist in organizing the venue. I don't think any member is present right now. So their committee report is accordingly deferred to when possible it can be presented. Members, the next committee is the Petitions Committee. The Petitions Committee is chaired by Honorable Courage Belly, and the ranking member is Honorable Michael Foriusi. Members are Honorable Vixen Bricel, Honorable Silas Tete, Honorable Emmanuel Sabote, Honorable David Armstrong Donko, Honorable Happy Efia Ahove, Honorable Dinah Mateko, and Miss Grace Fafali. I think we have Dinah Mateko and Happy over here. So if they have a contribution, they can unmute themselves and speak to us. Petitions committee, right? The petitions committee was tasked to relook at issues of lateness and absence of MPs and how it can be improved. So, Honorable Happy Efia Ahove, can we hear from you? Honorable Happy, let's hear from you. Hello. Honorable Happy, you're a member of the committee. Let's hear from you. Hello. Is there any other member present apart from Happy? Honorable Happy, you can just share your input on it as well, on the task given to you. Okay. It appears she's not active. So if she's not active, the report of the petitions committee is accordingly deferred to when possible they can present it. The next report is by the Publicity and Media Committee. The Publicity and Media Committee is chaired by Honorable Reynolds Agbeli, Youth MP for Aquapin South. The ranking member is Honorable Joshua Kadgo, who is Youth MP for Nsawam, Adwajiri. The members are Honorable Harry Senanu Abude, Honorable Deborah Nana Abba Tewia, Honorable Joe Ochidako, Honorable Gosin Agbemakulido, Honorable Peter Ajo, Honorable Raymond Elikamago, and Mr. C. Yes, Honorable
Sir,
Tewia,
please,
let's
I'm
hear from
here.
you. Yes, let's hear from you. The committee was tasked. Let me raise the tasks of the committee before you speak. The Publicity and Media Committee was tasked to look at the matter of looking at how the social media handles of YIP can boost its followership and subscribers, starting from members of the House and the general public. Yes, Honorable, let's hear you. Yes, let's hear you. Honorable Deborah Keria, let's hear your take on the directive given to the committee. Just share your view on it.
Okay, thank you, Right Honorable Chair in the House. I still go by the name Deborah Teria, Youth MP for HTU. Okay, so concerning how we boost our social media handles, I think it has to do with us first. That is, all of us subscribing to the pages. Kindly forgive me, I'm not in the house, so that's why you can hear the noises. So kindly forgive me. And so I think we just have to make it a point that we all subscribe, share, like, and then comment on all of our activities. And I can say I do fear whatever is in the house is good for all of us. And now before anything in your house will be beautiful, it has to start from you. So if in your house you yourself you've not liked the page, you've not commented, you've not shared anything before, then you don't expect the public to do something as well. So I'll urge all of our members to equally start doing that. Personally, I shared that on my start. I do share them. So I believe that if we all share as well, it will help by improving the visibility of our association. No matter what happened, this is what we have. We decided to do this. So if it will stand, or it will be firm, or it will be strong, it has to start from us. So that's it. We have to equally start something before the outsiders can equally do something. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much. Kindly move the motion to adopt the committee's report as well. Hello, Honorable. Kindly move the motion to adopt the committee's report as well.
Oh, okay, so I, Nana Bacteria Deborah, move the motion that the report should be adopted for the House. Thank you.
Thank you. Any seconder to the motion? Anyone can second the motion.
All right, Honorable Speaker in the House, I, Charles Kwame Mapok, hereby second the motion moved by Honorable Nanaba to accept their reports as a working document. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, motion moved and seconded is now for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, we have seen and it's evident that members are not patronizing our own products. Even posters that we share of members publicizing them, the members, the MPs themselves are not even sharing their own poster. They are not even sharing their own poster. How are they even going to share posters of other activities? Some MPs are here. Some MPs are here. Some MPs are here. They have not even shared posters of themselves. They have not liked our Facebook page. You have not liked our Instagram account. You have not liked our Twitter account. They have not followed or joined our Telegram group. They have not subscribed to our YouTube channel. And they just don't do anything. Some MPs have become so dormant that nothing of the House concerns them right after appointments. And it's quite worrying. Maybe that was why the House insisted that the tenure should be 1 year so that they can be removed from office immediately after their tenure expires. We get people who are more vibrant. If we are 93, if one Facebook post is being shared and we have at least just 30 of us liking, that's enough. But I go and check Facebook, sometimes not even a single like on one matter. Other members, the floor is open for contribution. Other members, you can contribute to the motion. What do you see? How do you think? Or should we look for something to penalize members failing to do the list of activities we expect them to do? Yes, Honorable Deborah, you can speak.
Thank you, Right Honorable Chair and the House. This is something that we really need to look at. If a poster of yourself, of your own self, you cannot share it, it means you are not proud of whatever you are into. There's a saying that you have to blow. You don't have to blow your own horn, but sometimes you have to project your own self. So, as an actress coming up, I love to share a bit of everything that I do, but not all people will know what you do. Not everyone knows who you are. Share something about yourself. You are giving the public idea about you. So if a flyer is designed for you as a young MP from Etiwa East, so Right Honorable, I believe you usually watch my stats. I share that a lot. It makes me proud to. It makes me so proud to share them. So I just want to use this opportunity to, encourage my fellow honorables that let's try. This is not a shame. It's a beautiful thing. You should be proud of where you are, what you're doing, and the great association you are in. Trust me, a lot of people would want to join us. Maybe they are not getting the opportunity. Maybe time is not permitting them. So let's try our best to share, because I believe the more we share, the more people will get to know of us, and then, things will probably move from there. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable. All members, are there any other comments? So, I agree with everything Honorable Teria has said. It's quite appalling that, yes, Honorable Francis Koji.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, regarding to the promotion of the online, our website and the Facebook page and Instagram page and all that, it's like most of us actually, like I always say, that we are just doing this for fun. We are doing it for fun in the sense that, I mean, people are gathering somewhere as a youth MP, so let me also be part of them. We don't have any future towards what we are doing. We are just doing it for doing it sake. If not that, posting of your own picture that is designed and projecting you as a youth MP for a particular constituency, which I believe when you post, maybe an honorable member, if me, I posted that on my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter page, everywhere, and I keep on repeating them, I share them, because I don't know who will see it and be like, who are these people? What do you guys do? I think I want to know more about this. Now we have grown beyond the stage of walking from house to house, or even a radio station or whatever. Just a post, somebody share, another friend share. We are about 90 something. So even if 70% of us are able to share whatever that is being posted, it will not be long, the whole world will begin to know about us. Because at least we all have more than 10 followers on all our social media handles. So I think this should be something we put on ourselves as part of what we do as honorable members. That's why if you study all our MPs, they are most interested in coming to post on their social media handles than even going to the radio or TV to say whatever. So when you study very well, you realize that every day you see this minister come to post. I am honored to attend this, blah, 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 blah. It's not anything. The person has realized that we have come to an era where more people are beginning to give attention to the social media handles, to watching on TV or listening to radio. So that could be a way we could also build our own social media handles as well and be able to build that of the house. So I think all the serious people that we have to put this upon themselves to be able to do it as we keep on doing it. Then as the tenure has expired, we will now look at how we will be going through the vetting process to know the kind of people to bring on board for the next sitting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Koji. Honorable Charles Moto.
All right. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, the House, contributing to the motion that was just moved and seconded. I think we need to do a little more education again, because I don't see the need or the reason why I'll have a beautifully designed flyer that was spent on and I'll decide not to just use it. Maybe let me just say we need a little more education. Let's educate the entire house. If administrative wise that could be done, and maybe on caucus basis we can tax the various whips to see how best they can engage their members, and let's say leadership in general, to see how best we can put that together. Maybe it could help us motivate the people or let them know more reason why specifically we have these flyers for them individually. Then, like Honorable Koji was just saying, when the tenure ends, I would suggest, if possible, one of the requirements for you becoming is for so at least that already is giving you a first standpoint, because there could be people that they even have the smartphone but they are not on Facebook. So if you post the thing, the person is not there. So how is the person even coming to like it? But if you are not paying to be a member, you just become a member. And this is what I want you to do as a member. I believe a number of people could download some of these things. Speaking myself, I'm not on TikTok. So whatever you do on TikTok, I'm unable to follow. But if this is a requirement and I want to be part of this association, then I'll just have to go by it. So we can look at that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Francis and Charles, for your beautiful submissions. I think indeed you are giving clarity to the role of an MP, which is to patronize the activities. And if possible, we make it a requirement to see your commitment before the appointment is being given. Because as you said, no one paid for forms. Maybe had they paid for forms, they wouldn't have wasted time. But we are not interested in making money from anyone. Is the reason why the forms are free. So, as you have said, the role of the MP is redefined. And then the re-education. We did orientation when the House was formed, and we did orientation when the new MPs were appointed. I don't know whether we should do another one again, or, as you said, we should leave it to the caucus leaders to orient their members. Some of the caucus leaders are not active at all. The way the caucus is supposed to be handled, I as Speaker, I don't handle caucus. I handle the House, and I do my best handling the House. Apart from the leaders of the House and their deputies who are doing well, the whips and then the deputy whips are nowhere to be found. We show them their role. They are supposed to whip members to tell and do what is expected of them. It appears they are not getting the whipping. If they whip their MPs, I'm sure some of these things will be done. Perhaps maybe in the next parliament, we look for MPs who can better whip their members and leaders. They should be having caucus meetings, taking caucus decisions. But the caucus, I don't really know. So I think let's relook at these matters and then they'll aid. For me, I'll suggest that the caucuses hold orientations to groom their members in addition. Anytime we do the orientations, we record them. And all the orientations are on our YouTube page. Maybe they are feeling lazy to watch an already held session, so maybe we have to hold another one again. But these are all matters for us to consider. So we'll look at them and then we'll take a decision on them. Honourable members, any other submission? In the absence of any other submission, I now put the question to the House on the motion. All honourable members in favour of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Not in favour of the motion, say nay. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Therefore, the report of the committee is accordingly adopted. The chairman of the appointments committee just joined. Mr. Chairman, kindly present your report to the House and move the motion to adopt your committee's report. Appointments Committee, Honorable Felix Wakpe-Adichie, let's hear from you. Talking about qualifications and expectations of leaders of the House to be appointed.
Okay, so for now, like generally, I think the way the system is what we can just be managing for now, because we are not too guaranteed or the caliber of people will be getting every time. But regardless, I think for the leadership of the House, and talking about the Speaker and then the other positions, we can have members acting though, but for the people who will be appointed like substantive, they should have at least spent some time with the house, at least maybe 6 months. That will give them enough exposure to be able to perform well when they are given the nod to hold the various positions. So aside that, as I said earlier, we are not too sure of a constant composition. So that's what I think for now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Please, did you move the motion for adoption? Kindly move the motion for adoption.
Okay, so at the clerk's own time, I, Felix Aditya Hwakpe, first Deputy Speaker, move that the said motion should be adopted. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any seconder?
Honorable Mary.
Yes, Honorable Mary. Please, anyone can second the motion. Honorable Dorcas, kindly second the motion.
Honorable
In
members
the
on the
absence of
call.
any other submission, motion seconded.
Please, can we know who moved the motion? Who seconded the motion? Your name and constituency.
All right, so this is over at Chris Glipo,
Okay.
Central Town.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, motion moved and seconded is now for the consideration of the House. Honorable members, I do agree with the chairman that now that we are at least more than 1.5 years, going to 2 years next month, obviously we have members who have been in the system for long. So anyone to be appointed to hold leadership position should at least have been part of us for 6 months. Or even if he has not been part, might have been coming around to observe our sittings for more than 6 months to qualify to be appointed to hold such a leadership role. But Mr. First Deputy Speaker, some of my concern is that I just don't know. It appears after a year, some of the people who wanted something from the House, maybe they join to learn something. After they have learned it, they forget about the House. Will end up, although they might be popping up to be recommended, those are the people who might not be interested again in engaging the House, or they might not even reapply to be MPs again. What do you do with respect to that?
Okay, so if you asked me, I think one of the main reasons why we are actually putting this whole thing up is to help a lot of youth to learn these parliamentary rudiments. So if people can join and then learn for a period, and for justifiable reasons they fall off their line, that is fair. We can't entirely hold people by like trying to force them that they must remain at all times. Sometimes we have other equally important engagements that can cause us not to be able to be constantly
available. But aside that, I think it is good we encourage our friends that regardless of whatever, they must always try to avail themselves for this kind of opportunity, so that when the time is due and then they also want a recommendation from the house, it will be easy to do rather than making it look like it is some sort of a kululu. Because if I have to pass through you as the speaker for you to recommend me to an organization or an authority as a member of this house, and maybe we are two going there, then there's one person that is known by members, and then there's another person who just passed the back door, and then you did it for the two of us. You could see that when the two of us go and meet and it looks like we don't even know each other at the first place, then it makes us look kind of like we are not serious. So it is equally important that we try as much as we can to learn before we even come for the recommendation, because it is what you learn that you are going to show out there. The recommendation is already there for you, fair enough. But whatever you learned from the house is what you are going to display. And if you didn't learn anything from the house and the house recommends you, when you go outside, what you display reflects what the house is doing. So probably somebody will say, this person is from Youth Impact Parliament and this person can't even move a motion or can't maybe confidently make a point and make a proper point. So based on that, the person or the outsider might judge that maybe all the members of the Youth Impact Parliament aren't serious, or they are not able to do this simple thing. So yes, I agree, we try to extend helping hands to everybody though, but it must be censored in a way that we don't end up toiling or dirtying our image out there. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other contribution?
All right. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would want to build on what Honorable Felix said, but then I don't want to believe that the main purpose of the house is to just build people to learn from here and go somewhere else to go and do these things or practice from here. But then, beside all those things, I think the main purpose of this house is to build this house as well, so that in the near future, this house could also be recognized as one of the majors around the country and the whole world as well. So I think, considering this, we should be able to sit down and think through few lucrative ways by which we can get people on board and also to maintain them as well as growing them, not only for them to come and learn and go away. So if the whole house can sit down, think of lucrative ways of making people come on board, and also beside giving them certificates or any other remunerations on paper or something, we can still sit down, think through, and see how best we can grow this house and maintain it, not only for the purpose of people coming to learn and go away. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I do side with you. All members, any other contribution? In the absence of any further contribution, I now put the question to the House. Honourable members in favour of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Not in favour, say nay.
Nay.
Honourable members, I think the ayes had it. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Therefore, the report of the appointment committee is adopted. Honourable members, we'll move to the next committee. The next committee is the Privileges Committee. The Privileges Committee is chaired by the second Deputy Speaker, Honorable Vanessa P. Sasasi, Youth MP for South Town. Ranking member is Honorable Salamat Bravo, Deputy Majority Leader, Youth MP for Keta. Other members are Honorable Kendall Mante, Honorable Hubert Adbahode, Honorable Obed Chris Bipo, Honorable Innocent Dwameto, Honorable Emmanuel Edemahaji, Honorable Bless Kofi Kuma, and Miss Grace Fafali. The committee was tasked to consider at what rate leaders and chairpersons can be swapped during their tenure, whether or not inactivism should contribute to change of leadership, and what activism is expected from leaders and chairpersons so as not to amount to swapping their positions or taking them off leadership positions during the tenure. Members of the committee, Honorable Innocent and Chris, what is your view on this?
Okay, all right, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, the whole House. Please, my view on this is, I think the tenure of the office and the maintenance of them in position shouldn't solely be based on that, because sometimes, let me use myself for example. I tried reaching some people, and then you realize that it's either they will not pick their call, or they will pick the call and tell you are busy. They are busy, and then when you get back to them, there's no response, and it's making it feel like you are the one who is trying to force them to do certain things. So, in as much as a few of those hinges are there, before we take any of those decisions, I suggest that we speak with the leaders and the members as well, to see what the problems are and the way forward, so that we can help solve these problems. Not purposely, not mainly trying to just sit behind and take these things off. Thank you. These people off. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you move the motion for the adoption of the report as well?
All right. So, in the absence of any other submission, I beg to move a motion for the adoption of this report as a working document.
Thank you very much. Honorable Innocent, kindly second and add your voice.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Yeah, thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I second the motion to what the honorable member have raised. Thank you.
Do you have a contribution to it? You can add it as the seconder.
Okay. To add to that also, I think what the point is well clear. Sometimes we can see that some of us or some people, some MPs, are independent, or they are self-employed and other things. So getting them to join the meetings and other things may be a challenge to some of them. So I think we should still have a patience with them, even though it's a sacrifice that some of us we are doing. When it gets to time, some of them also will understand it in that manner. I think we all move forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, motion moved and seconded is now for the consideration of the House. Honorable members, I'm of the view that when we're doing the appointments, we appointed the active ones. But along the line, they just became inactive. Along the line, they just became inactive, and then it was so hard getting them to be active again. Some of them understand it was due to work. It was due to work that they became inactive. Some of them understand they have changed their location and a whole lot of matters. But when you are a leader of a caucus, you should be one of the most active people. That is my view on it. Or I also don't think it will be fair if we swap them during the tenure. Or that is why the tenure is just 1 year, so that they can be disposed of after that year due to their changing circumstances. Yes, Honorable Francis.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to use this opportunity to say to my fighting friend, Honorable Amanor, for being one of the most active leaders that we have in the House. Regardless of everybody's busy schedule, I believe he understands the position he's holding and his absence, what that could cause as well. So, in terms of being an inactive leader, yes, that's where the cities are standing. Maybe if you have relocated from home or you are no longer close to home, I think the House should be made aware and for your position to be changed. Because we cannot be having a House where every day the leadership of the House is not active. It means that we will be sheep without shepherd who one day be pounced on by lions and that will end our life. So I think if any of the leaders then he should alert the House for that position to be taken from him and be given to someone who will be active and who will make himself available.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Francis Koji. They're very consistent members. On behalf of the leadership of the House, I want to commend you all for being very consistent. Honorable Francis Koji and Amanor, Honorable Amanor, so far, with some other few members, I've not missed a single sitting since the time we started the first parliament, the second parliament, and it's very commendable. But others have been vibrant as well. Some of you here have only missed one sitting, some of you just 2 sittings. All commendable. I think for the leadership of the next parliament, you are the ones who would want you to have been at the helm of affairs and leading the caucuses. Although some of you are likely to go out of town, we pray to still be that active. So, honourable members, is there any other contribution? In the absence of any further contribution, I now put the question to the House on the adoption of the motion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Not in favor, say nay. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Therefore, this House accordingly adopts the report of the Privileges Committee. We move to committee, the Research and Intelligence Committee. It's being chaired by the Minority Leader, Honourable Erasmus Kofi Ahiano. Member for Agbeli South. Ranking member is Honourable Amanor David Narh. The Majority Leader, Ningo Pran. And other members of the committee are for Research and Intelligence. Honourable Believer Gosso, Honourable Samuel Kifi Ampedu, Honourable George Righteous Keko, Honourable Joshua Tete, Honourable Onis Adams, Honourable Salom Komla Kofi, and Honourable Kennedy Atacharo. Honourable Salom Komla Kofi, can you share with us the discussions of the committee? The committee was tasked to examine the possible topics for the virtual leadership seminars of the movement and orientation for members. Yes, Honourable, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker in the House. I go by the name Salom Komla Kofi, and a member of the Research and Intelligence Committee. As rightly said, we've been tasked to provide list of possible topics for virtual seminars, which will be conducted for the Youth Impact Parliament. And then after deliberation with other members, we came through with these few topics. What we have here on our list is 1, time management and then proper financial planning. 2, technical or scientific skills training is the solution to youth unemployment and not necessarily the classroom education. 3, we have politics and the politician, which is the canker, the act or the doer. And then 4, we have climate change and environmental conservation. 5, we have leadership and then effective communication. 6, we have mental health and wellness. 7, civic engagement and social responsibility. 8, we have diversity and inclusion. And then 9, we have examining the role of the fairness of examining the role of the fairness in parliamentary setting and how it can help ensure that all voices are heard and well represented. Mr. Chairman, this is the list of topics we have delved into, and then we are bringing it right before the House to look at it and see how favorable it will be to us. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Kindly move the motion for adoption.
I, Salom Komla Kofi, move the motion that this report should be adopted for the Honorable House. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A seconder to the motion, please. Honourable Bruce Julian, kindly second the motion for us.
Thank you, Right Honorable. I rise to second the motion moved by my honorable member. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, motion moved and seconded. It's now for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, the topics are all beautiful, and please do well to submit the topics to me so that we'll see the resource persons we can schedule for the movement. I like them. So we've asked after the meeting, and let's see the possible resource persons we can get for them. Honourable members, the floor is open. for your commentaries. Honourable members, in the absence of any further contribution, I now put the question to the House. All in favour of the motion to adopt the report of the committee, say aye.
Aye.
Not in favour, say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Therefore, this House accordingly adopts the report of the Research and Intelligence Committee. Now, members, we just have 4 committees more, and then we adjourn the House. So I'm confident in the next 10 minutes we should finish and we should adjourn the sitting. Now, members, the next committee is Special Budget Committee. The chairperson for the Special Budget Committee is Honourable Harriet Abudi, Youth MP for Whole Central. Ranking member is Honourable Theophilus Bini, Youth MP for Upper Manyakrubo. Other members are Hubert Agbahode, Honourable Hubert Agbahode, Honourable Salam Adbavo, Honourable Simon Nana Adio, Honourable David Delade Makodi Kumsin, Honourable Bless Kofi Kuma, Honourable Innocent Dwamepo, and Honourable Miss Onais Adams. The committee was asked to relook at how to encourage the payment of monthly dues. Currently, the rate of payment is 35%. Majority of MPs do not pay their monthly dues. Yes, Honourable Innocent and the other members, what do you have to share on this? Yes, Honourable Innocent, what do you have to share on this?
Yes, right, Honorable Speaker. Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity. The little comment I have on this is actually we have make everything possible to reach out to members to make a payment of these particular dues. But it seems like our time of approaching, some of them even complain about it. Maybe it's not yet ending or it's not even close to ending, and we started asking for the dues. And also, moreover, when the month is also about to end, you can see that a lot of them will start giving excuses. But I think with the time, people will come along, and also looking at how the expenses or how things are costing now, I think we will be putting call through every month throughout to every MP to see if at least, if not 100%, more than 80% will pay the dues. So we will continue putting in our efforts. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Kindly move a motion to adopt the report.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I, Innocent Dwamakbo, MP for Katu North, and of the reports of the committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Seconder to the motion. Honorable Salam, kindly second the motion.
I, Salom Komla Kofi, second the motion that this document should be adopted by House for further clarification. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, motion moved and seconded is now for the constitution of the House. Honorable members, as much as possible, we try to reduce financial obligations on members. We reduce our cost of operation so that will not become a burden on you. Throughout the first parliament, the founder and the co-founders were bearing all operational costs. That was why the Special Budget Committee recommended. It was not the founders that recommended the dues paying. It was the committee that recommended the dues paying. The amount was decided by the House. And it's just 5 cedis. Just 5 cedis per month. Just 5 cedis. 5 cedis is a zone bundle for just a day. 5 gig for just a day. 5 cedis is not even adequate to pay your bundle. It's just 5 cedis, so 1 cedi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just 5 cedis per month. That we require. So that we can use it to provide your refreshment and fund other possible activities. But since the time we started, only 35% of the House end up paying by the end of the month. Out of 93 MPs, you only see 30 MPs paying. 32 MPs paying. So for me, the things are hard now. The economy is more tighter. So we don't want to increase financial burden on anyone. We just ask that this little no coffee that we ask so that we can use to provide refreshment for you. It's not for me. It's for MPs, you yourself, when you come for sitting. That's just all we are asking for. So this should not be something we should be begging you to do. It's just a little commitment. Some MPs have done so well. They have paid 30 cedis they have paid for the entire session. One good example is Honorable Julian Bruce, who has paid 30 cedis to cover the entire session. And the chairperson of that committee, every month she pays 10 cedis instead of 5 cedis. She pays 10 cedis. Some other members are also doing very well. Honorable Innocent himself has paid. Honorable Selim has paid. And then so some of you have equally paid. So I don't know. It appears some people are just dormant, completely dormant. They don't send any message. They don't care. They don't want to do anything. And that's just it. Some MPs are just dormant completely. Unreachable, unseeable, unhearable. So those kind of people there, even when we go to heaven and come, they might not even pay. But well, we hope for the best. Honourable members, the floor is open. Honourable Samson. Yes, you want to speak? Honourable members, the floor is open for contributions to the motion. Yes, Honourable Salam.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. To add to what you said, I think the 5 CD is a least amount to be paid. And I think that is what is pushing for the laziness in which we are not paying. So I would want to encourage honorable members, at least we can round it up to, let's say, 10 months, which will give us a wholesome amount of 5 times 10 to be 50 cedis. So we wouldn't feel lazy to pay. So when you pay 50 cedis, then you take your mind off it that, okay, I've covered for 10 months and I'm saved for 10 months. So I wouldn't be paying any money until after the 10 months. So I think that is better than paying the 5 cedi every month, which we are feeling lazy about. Me myself, I'm an example. I am feeling lazy about it, but I pay. But the effort I take to pay the 5 cedi, I feel lazy about it. So I think we should just round this up to a wholesome amount, 50 cedis. Then once you pay, then you take your mind off it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Brilliant submission. Yes, I think indeed you are speaking from the perspective of the MPs. The 5 cities looks too little and it doesn't look big to them. So I think the best advice is you clear the entire session. From January to August is 8 months times 5. And that's just, I think that'll be 40 cities, right? Because the house will be dissolved by August. So you just pay 40 cities and you take your mind off it. And I think that will help. So I think the Special Budget Committee, when you call them, encourage them to pay for the entire session and then they take their head off it. I think that will help. Yes, Honorable Samson.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Speaker, on the House. Yeah, about the contribution this, and I think the 5 cedi, is better. We go by rate than going for 50 cedis. That one, the people who may rather neglect it than the 5 cedis on. The 5 cedi is just a target you set. Oh, this time I will be expecting this money in my mobile money. If you can, have to pay this. Oh, let me pay 30 cedis. Let me pay 20 cedis for this week. For the 2 months, 3 months. It's far better than saying that, oh, we should call them that they should pay 5 cedis, 50 cedis rather. They'll run away. By my colleagues MP, 5 cedis is the least amount you're supposed to pay. I don't know why 5 cedi in this country we are living now is nothing. Not that they are lazy, it's just that they have the money, but the time to do that is a challenge. So you can go to the Momo venture and tell them to do that to you, because 5 cedi is nothing. I see that we'll be finding challenge with it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Yes, I think your view does really resound, because the way, if the money looks bigger, they will feel scared. If we say pay 40 cedis, it's like looks so substantial. It looks a lot. But 5 cedis looks so small. So, I don't want to be in a dilemma. So, at worst, we'll still survive, because the monthly dues is mostly to provide refreshment and pay for pictures, of which it's not like I'm the one going to enjoy it alone. So at worst, even if the dues is not paid, it's not like the sitting will not hold. The sitting will still hold. Just that we might not be able to provide those things. So, honor members, please speak to your colleagues and then let's do this. Honor members, at this point in time, I now put the question to the House. All members in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those in favor of the motion, say nay. Honor
Aye.
members, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Therefore, the Special Budget Committee report is accordingly adopted. Honor members, we are now on Standing Orders Committee, which is chaired by my good self. There is no ranking member for this committee. The Clerk to Parliament is my secretary, and other members of the committee are special Standing orders, right? Standing orders committee. Can someone call Osman, the chairman for the sports? Okay, I think he just joined, right? Yes, we are taking standing orders committee right now.
Mr.
Right
Speaker,
after that,
please
we'll
come
take
here.
your committee. Yeah, so your committee is next after mine.
Please, I was present. Mr. Speaker, please kindly allow me to present my report, please.
Okay, let's take
Hello, please. Am I audible? Please, am I audible?
the network. Yeah, hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, am I audible?
Okay,
Yes,
I was
please.
giving an introduction to your committee. So the committee is chaired by Honorable Adamu Osman, Youth MP for Shaman constituency. Ranking member is Honorable Gidi Evans. Other members are Honorable Gordon Kwashi, Honorable Wanda Jamesi, Honorable Samson Fianco, Honorable Samson Ngonji, Honorable Celestine Kumaga, Honorable Felix Watadiche, and Mr. Cyril Amevo. The committee has been tasked to suggest some sports activities the House can organize for its members, physical or virtual. Mr. Chairman, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker in the guest house, I bring you warm greetings from the Sports and Games Committee. It's an honor to present this report to the House. Mr. Speaker, we all know members of Parliament are responsible for representing their constituents and making laws and other decisions that may deem fit. But this affects their lives of their lives. However, the demand of their job can be stressful and lead to burnout, which can negatively impact their legislative performance. Mr. Speaker, one potential solution is to incorporate physical and virtual games in their daily routine to help elevate stress and improve their function. Our committee has been tasked to to compile or to present physical and virtual games for the consideration of the House. So I would like to take the physical games first. So for physical games, we have solitaire, what we normally call spa. We have basketball. We have football or soccer. We have board games, that's such as Monopoly, Scrabble, and Settlers of Catan. We have tug of war. That's a game where two teams pull on opposite end of a rope, trying to bring a marker in the center of the rope over their sides. We have dodgeball. That's a fast-paced game where players try to hit each other with soft balls while avoiding being hit by themselves. We have capture the flag. That's a game where a team or where players try to capture the other team's flag. We have chariots. That's a classic game where one person acts out a word or phrase and the other person tries to guess what word or phrase is. Then, Mr. Speaker, I would like to move to the virtual games too. For the virtual games, we have Among Us. Among Us is a multiplayer game where players work together to complete tasks on a spaceship while trying to identify and eliminate any imposter among them. We have Scribble.io. That is a drawing game where players take turn drawing while the other try to guess what they are drawing. We have Kahoot. That's an educational game platform where players answer multi-choice questions and compete against each other for the highest score. One one interesting aspect is for the Kahoot, you can set great questions like a quiz for members to take. So at the end of the day, the person with the highest mark wins. And we have online solitaire, that's online spa games. So, Mr. Speaker, it should be noted that there are other many thousands of games, but the committee, through deliberation, proposed the above for consideration. The above listed games can be organized in collaboration with other institutions. That is, we include or we organize it in collaboration with other institutions like workplaces, schools, firms, and other places of work. Because this will create, which will promote socialization and publicity. So others may may show interest and end up joining the movement. That is the Youth Impact Movement. Thank you very much for your audiences. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Now, can you move for the
Mr.
adoption
Speaker,
of your
please.
report?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I respond to Adamo's Youth MP for Ashama constituency. I hereby move a motion for the adoption of this report for consideration by the House. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A seconder to the motion. Honorable Priscilla, I kindly second the motion. Sorry,
The
Honorable
Speaker of the
Dr.
House.
Priscilla.
The Speaker of the House. I, Honorable Presided, MP for Domin Kobina, seconds the motion.
Honorable members, motion moved and seconded is now for the consideration of the House. The floor is now open for comments on the motion. For me, these are very brilliant games. I think we have tasked some committees to also organize physical activities for us from now to June or July. So we are only taking one physical activity per committee. But for the online one, we can organize it at any time of your choice. So the committee can choose one for us, how we'll do it, just bring it and then we'll see how we can do the physical one. But for the online one, we can do it as many times as possible so far as we have the luxury of time. So that's my take on it. Honorable Felix Wape, you are a sportsman. What is your take? Honorable members, you can share your comments on the report. Okay. So, Honorable Danosman, we are saying that some other committees will organize a physical activity for us. So we are only taking one physical activity per committee. The committees that are organizing we're only taking one. So look at one physical that we can do, bring the plan, how we'll do it, and then we'll set a date, do poster, and do it. But for the online ones, it could be done at any time, so far as you have the luxury of time.
Mr. Speaker.
Yeah.
Please, I'm having challenges. Mr. Speaker, please, I'm having challenges with my network.
Yes, we'll communicate with you. Honourable members, any contribution? So, honorable members,
Mr. Speaker.
okay. Honorable members, I now put the question to the House on the adoption of the motion. All members in favor say aye. Not in favor say nay. All members, think the ayes have it. Just that you might have not heard it. I'm sure the ayes had it. Therefore, the report of the committee is adopted. Honorable members, move to standing orders. I'm the chairman, and the other members of the standing orders committee are the majority and the minority leaders, the deputy speakers, and Honorable Emmanuel Hiadeke, Honorable Wanda Afeti, Honorable Believer Goso, all members. The committee was tasked to look at possible policies of the House and can draft them. The policies that we are looking at is drafting a dues payment policy or act, an attendance policy or act, and an activism policy or act. At the end of the day, we only pick one and draft. It's a very simple report. So we are looking at the three, we only pick one and draft. The dues payment policy would clearly state how dues payments will be conducted, the pros and cons, the sanctions, and then all those. The attendance policy is looking at going in depth, what constitute the attendance to fulfill Article Order 36, and then all those. Just coming clear with the hybrid combination and all those. Then the activism is stating clear what qualifies an MP to be called an active MP in the House. It's just to come clear on these matters. So this is it. Honourable members, since I'm presiding, I will not be able to move the motion. So can an honourable member move a motion for the adoption of the Standing Orders Committee report? Since I'm presiding, I will not be able to move the motion. So can an honourable member move a motion for the adoption of the report?
Okay, so at the clerk's own time, I, Felix Wakwe Adiche, would like to move the motion for the adoption of the standing orders as a true working document of this August House. Thank you very much.
Honourable member, please, let's come clear with the motion. A standing orders committee report, not the standing orders itself.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so I will take it again. At the clerk's own time, I, Felix Wakwe Adiche, move for the acceptance of the standing order committee's report as a true working document of this August House. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. A seconder to the motion. Yes, Honorable Charles, can you second the motion for us? Or Salam, anyone second the motion for us?
Right Honorable Speaker of the House, I, Charles Kwame Mapo, second the motion.
Honorable members,
Hello,
motion moved and
Mr.
seconded.
Speaker.
Yes, thank you. Motion moved and seconded is now for the constitution of the House. Honorable members, any contribution to the report or motion? I take it that you have all accepted the reports in good faith. So I now put the question to the House. All members in favor of the Reports of the Standing Orders Committee, say aye.
Aye.
Not in favor, say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries. Therefore, the Standing Orders Committee report is accordingly adopted, and they can proceed to draft one of the policies. Honourable members, the last committee, and then we adjourn. We are all doing well. Thank you very much. The last committee is the Welfare Committee, chaired by Honourable Millicent Motokwashi, Youth MP for Ilokrobo. Ranking member is Honourable Enokwame Sodoji, Youth MP for Sege constituency. Other members are Honourable Janot Elomabezuge, Honourable Dr. Priscilla Friadai, Honourable Elijah Koto, Honourable Oliver Mauli, Honourable Ken Del Monte, Honourable Vanessa Pisasasi, and Ms. Grace Fafali. The committee was tasked to look at ways that they can check up on members and improve the welfare of members in the House. Yes, the second deputy whips, any take on this matter? Dr. Priscilla Dai, Honourable Janet Agbezuge, what do you have for us on this? Yes, we are waiting on. Dr. Priscilla Dai.
The Speaker of the House. So our committee is also yet to meet to discuss these issues. So I think when we are done with our meetings, we know we are behind deadline, but we'll try and catch up and then duly serve the House with our reports. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, accordingly, the report of the Welfare Committee is hereby deferred to subsequent sittings. Honourable members, this brings us to the close of the business of the day, and I want to thank you all for being online since 1:30 to 4:30. That's basically 3 hours. I'm here, I'm very hungry. So yeah, I'm going to eat. I don't know about you. So, honourable members, I now open the floor for motion for adjournment to our 9th sitting to be placed in April. Can someone move the motion for adjournment and whatever I want to share? Oh, you don't want us to adjourn? Honourable members, please, let's adjourn Wati. Can someone move the motion for adjournment? Oh, honourable members, as a matter of fact, the House is supposed to meet for at least a minimum of 2 hours. So I can equally adjourn without a motion for you to know. Let me cite my reference. Parliament of Ghana is supposed to meet from the hours of 10 a.m. in the forenoon to 2 a.m. in the afternoon. If they will adjourn within those hours, a motion has to be taken. But if they are adjourning after 2, the Speaker can adjourn it without a motion. So, honourable members, I want to thank you very much for participating in today's sitting. It has been very helpful and enlightening, and left me alone, I think the virtual sitting is not bad. I think I'll start with the idea that administrative things like this reports, we should take it at the virtual so that we have the physical for when guests wants to meet us and debate. So in a month, we can hold the virtual and then the physical so that we deal with the administrative with the virtual and then the debate and others with the physical. Honourable members, in April, Youth Impact Movement will be 2 years. We would like to commemorate this with an anniversary lecture, but our sitting in April will be a little bit mega so as to commemorate our celebration. In doing so, I call for all of you to attend in your numbers. We are having Honorable Kofi Ato, who is our patron. We are looking at bringing one other patron of ours who celebrated the first anniversary with us to come and visit us once again. We are looking at bringing Honorable Fululu again. So it's going to be a little bit of a celebration. There's low key more. So the April sitting is going to be loaded as well. The motion to discuss after they leave will also come. And then also the anniversary lecture, which will be on 22nd April, that is a Wednesday. We are working on it and who to present for us. So the anniversary lecture is to commemorate the event, but the sitting we'll hold in April will also celebrate it as well. So we'll work on the dates and we'll communicate to you before March ends the date for the April sitting, which will be physical, and then the plans for the anniversary lecture. Honourable members, in that one accord, this House duly stands adjourned to the 9th sitting of the House to be scheduled in April. Thank you and have a blessed day.